Okay, let's see now whether it is working or not. So script21.sh, so I have not given the input, it came out. If I give some input, it goes to the next line. Why? Because the condition fails. So we have used a simple if there. So now the same way I'm going to put it for second one, $B. Now save and exit. So now let's try. So 10, 20. So if you are giving both the values, so script is working fine. Now let's say if I don't give first value, it is exiting. So let's say if I give first value, it checks. If second value is empty, it came out. So if I give both the values correctly, it entered into my script. Okay, so this is how, okay, so your string comparisons works. So there I am putting a condition that, okay, so -z if it is empty. Okay, so sometimes you may get a requirement of checking non-empty. Okay, so in that case you go with -n, that's all, non-zero you're checking. And the next kind of expressions you have is, okay, so numerical comparisons. Whenever you have numbers, so here you are comparing which is string is nothing but characters and numbers combined. Okay, but here we are strictly talking about numbers. These string comparisons you are able to do with case command also, but you are unable to check whether the data is having whether a variable is having some data or not. But you cannot compare numbers. Okay, so what are the number operators you have? So again you can refer man space bash. Okay, so man space bash, and if I search for eq, yeah, so you can see here what all the operators you have available is -eq, -ne, -ld, -gt and -ge. So -eq to check equal to, -ne not equal to, -gt greater than, -ge greater than or equal to, -le less than or equal to, -ld less than. Okay, so you have 6 operators total. And also you can see here, okay, so in the in the string comparisons, if you see, you have an, okay, so if you use double equal to or you use single equal to, both are checking strings are equal or not. So some people might be using double equal to, so don't confuse. So both are same. If you see this, for both these things they have written one comment, means both, for both it is same. And also, okay, so they are checking string 1 and string 2, okay, by using greater than and less than symbol. By greater than, okay, they are checking first string is greater than second string or first string is less than second string. So you can check strings, okay, if you know an algorithm which is lexical. Okay, so you have an open algorithm in the internet. If you really understand that particular algorithm, okay, so then you come here and understand how it is comparing those strings. See, if I'm putting, okay, so if I'm putting if ABC is greater than capital ABC, okay, then echo I and FI. Now you are getting HAO, okay, whatever it is printing means small ABC is greater than capital ABC. What is this? How can I tell whether how this string is greater than that string? I don't know. Okay, so if I give 1 is equal 1 is greater than 0, okay, my side, okay, I know mathematics, I can tell, okay, 1 is greater than 0, obviously, yes, this is true. But how this can be true, I don't know. To know that, you need to have a C algorithm which is lexical. So in that algorithm they'll explain you, okay, so even, okay, you want to compare strings, it's a programming thing. Okay, so if you want to compare strings in any programming language, okay, they need to have a lexical algorithm to know that. Okay, if you know that, you can compare those strings. Otherwise we have to learn that. But usually from my experience till now I have not used these such situations. Okay, that's fine. If you want to learn, okay, so you have a lexicographical algorithm, you can just type in internet, you'll get it. Okay, not a big deal. So these are the operators whenever you go with, okay, so whenever you go with numbers. Okay, so to our script, where I can use our script, okay, so where I can use this particular thing is in the same example. Okay, so you have 20.sh. So I'll do one thing, so script 20.sh to script 2.sh. So VM script 22.sh. So here I'm going to use special variables. So A is equal to $1 and B is equal to $2 and OP is equal to $3. A is equal to $1, B is equal to $2 and OP equal to $3. So you save and exit. So script 22.sh. So you are getting invalid operator. So what is this invalid operator? I don't know. Okay, so I know the script because I have written the thing. I give 1020 add. So where you are getting invalid operator, your case command is checking $OP. Okay, it doesn't matches with anything. So this is what happening. Okay, but in the starting itself, I want to check whether the user has given proper inputs or not. Okay, so how do I check is, so how can we check number of values given by the user? Okay, in the special variables class we have talked about. So you can check it with $hash. $hash denotes, so if I give script 19.sh, see here, $0, $1, 2, 3, right? So if I give 1020, so what is your $hash? 2 means number of values you have passed, right? So for our script to work, I require the number of values equal to 3. So what I am going to put a condition, if $hash is not equal to 3, means if it is not equal to, say, my script mandatory requires 3 values. My script requires mandatory 3 values. Where is this? Yeah, 10, 20, add 3 values I have to require. So if it is not equal to 3, then what I'll do is I'll write a usage function. So the function of the usage function is usage. So usage functions you usually write. Okay, so means how to use the script. Echo. So usage is the word which we are going to put. Now I'm going to put $0. What is $0? $0 is the name of the script. Okay, so I'm just going to put name of the script and value 1, value 2 and operator, right? So and also you can give next line operators equal to add or subtract or multiply or divided by. Now when I came to this function, there is something wrong, so I'll exit 1 and that's all. Now you see here, so everything we have already talked about, but we're just talking the way how to use it, that's all. Okay, so here you are making a condition. So here our okay, number of values is not equal to 3, it went to the usage function. So you see here usage and my script name. Okay, I'm getting. So I told you, right? So usually we'll use $0. CP command use, you're getting CP. So /bin/CP if you give, you're getting /bin/CP. Okay, if there is something wrong, they are printing some message. So here also in our script, there is something wrong, we are printing some message. So /bin/CP is the $1 now because the complete one you have. So that's the reason we always use $0s. We don't put the script name directly. Why? Because the script may be renamed in the future. And even, okay, so if you link the script, so script 22.sh, so let's say I give test1, so you'll give test1, so you'll get test1.sh, so $0 will become test1. So that's the reason. So we usually So we usually, okay, we use $0, but if you are getting dot slash, if I don't want to get the dot slash, what I can do is, if I have a command base name of dot test1 will remove dot slash. So if you give slash home slash sb48 slash test1, okay, or test1, whatever it is, okay, so what is happening, it is removing this one. It is going to remove the preceding directory structure. It takes the only file name. Okay, so usually that's the reason in our scripts you may see some scripts you may find. Okay, so people might be using, instead of $0 directly, they'll use base name of $0, command substitution base name of $0. That's all. So now my script, to.sh, you are giving 22.sh. You're just getting rid of the dot slash, that's all. Okay, so nothing big deal. If you want to put it, no issue. So why? Because, okay, so usually we execute the scripts with going into the directory and dot slash only we usually give. So in such cases we can. So now if I give 10 20 add, so you are getting only addition. So where we came to the situation, we are discussing here, okay, arithmetic operator which is not equal to. Okay, like that. Okay, so based on your requirement, you can use equal to or greater than or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, now the next one you have is the final one, so which is file tests. Means in Linux operating system, okay, so everything is a file. So your if command can validate the type of file also. The types of files you have is total 7 types of files you have. Okay, so one is regular file, and the second one is directory, and the third one is block file, means hard disk, so /dev/sda sdb, and the next one is character files, so which is nothing but your TTYs. Okay, so you TTYs and PTS. Okay, you can see here W, you always see PTS, right? So what is that? That is a character special files, so which will help you to take the inputs from the user. So you're typing in the terminal, okay, how the inputs are taken, there has to be something, right? So these character files works behind to take the input from the user. And the fifth one is link file, so link is also a type of file. And sixth one is named pipe file. Okay, so the pipes which we are using is unnamed pipe, so cat / etc password, okay, and pipe grepper, okay, root, you are using a pipe symbol which is unnamed pipe. Okay, so system pipes, but there is also a named pipe concept in the system, so that is also a type of file, you can use that. And the finally is socket file. The final is socket file. So these are 7 types of files if you come to file types. Actually, if you want to check a file type on file, what all you will be having, so file owners. So on file owners, okay, owner and permissions, we put like permissions. So you have a file owner and group owner. So you have 2 things. If you give ls-l, okay, so what all you can see file owner and group owner also. And apart from this, you can see permission. So what are the permissions you can check? Read, write, execute. Now, what are the special permissions you have? setuid, setgid, and sticky bit. So these are the total permissions you have on that particular file. And finally, okay, you can check file size also. Okay, file size you can check whether it is empty or non-empty. Okay, so these are all the things you can do in the file test. Okay, for each and everything you have an operator. Okay, to check a regular file you have an operator which is -r. Oh no, regular file, right? So -f. So to check a directory you have -d. To check a block you have -b. To check a character you have -c. To check link file you have -h. Okay, to check a named pipe file you have -p. To check a socket file you have hyphen small s or capital S. I also don't remember. Again go to bash. So you always have everything here. To check a socket file, okay, so it is capital S. Now coming to the owners, okay, so you have an option. Oops. You have an option -capital O. So to check group owner, it's almost equal to the first character actually, -G. And to read means -R. And to write -W. To execute -X. That's all. And for setuid, okay, so you have is -U. And setgid you have is -G. And sticky bit -K you have. You can see here somewhere it will be written -K. Can you see? It's a sticky bit, this one. And the next one you have is checking the file size. Okay, so size is smallest. You can see true if file exists and has a greater size than 0, means you are checking actually non-empty. If you want to check non-empty you have -yes. So if you want to check an empty, it is going to be a not. That's all. MPTY. So use not of -s. You are checking the file is empty. That's all. So these are the things usually, okay, so we use in files. Okay, so if you want to check something which is a regular file, you want to do something, you go with -f. If you want to check whether it is a directory you want to do something, okay, so this one. So if you want to check if it is a block special file, you want to check whether it is a character, like that. And also you want to like to check the permissions, and if you would like to check the file sizes, these are the options you have. So where to use is, okay, so these are widely used actually. /etc init.d. Okay, so let's say an example. You want to create users, list of users. Okay, so you want to create the list of users. How do you create the list of users usually? So list of users has to be there in a file. So you'll ask the user, okay, enter the file name. So you'll provide the file name. So the script cannot blindly enter into the script. Okay, so he has to check whether the file exists or not. At least the file has readable permission or not. So then only you can, okay, pull those information and you can execute. So it's a mandatory thing for you to check those things. Okay, so here if I use the some script network, okay, so here you can see, okay, there are a lot of conditions making on files. Okay, so if not this file, so if file means this condition is going to execute if the file exists. So but he is using if not, that is if the file doesn't exist, or if the file is not a regular file, then exit there itself, exit 6. Okay, getting the situation right. If not the file, he is reversing the logic. If the file is not a regular file, okay, exit 6. The file doesn't exist, or even if the file is not a regular file, he will exit. Okay, now so he is checking one more file. So if the file exists, he is not using not symbol now. If the file exists, okay, he is importing the file. He is importing the file. See, you know, okay, yeah, at least if you are administrator background, okay, so what we usually see in etc sysconfig, you'll see networking is equal to yes. Okay, some parameters we usually put gateway, host name, all these things. What is these things? If you really look into, okay, so you feel this is a configuration file. Might be. With respect to configuration, it is a configuration file. If with respect to script, if I see, this is a variable. Networking is a variable and the data is yes. No zero conf is equal to is a variable and the data is yes. So system widely uses these things, variables. Okay, so he is checking an executable permission here. He's checking an executable permission. So if the /bin/IP doesn't exist, or even it does not have executable permission, then he is exiting with 1. Okay, so likewise, okay, based on your requirement of one more file, okay, so he's checking executable permission on another file. Okay, so he is checking if this is not a directory. If the directory doesn't exist, he's checking with not D. So if he simply use -d, if the directory exists, he will be checking that. That's all. Okay, so like that. Okay, so a lot of conditions you can put based on your requirement. You can also check, okay, here he is using static roots file, checking the file exists. Also one more file, he's checking executable permissions is there or not. Okay, so like this file tests are usually, see, if it is a file and you would like to perform anything on the file, just go and see the file permission option. That's all. Check file permission options. And yeah, so this is about, okay, so if command, this is about if command. So there are very small things you have. Okay, so there is very few things you have in if statement. So let's try to complete that. So two more operators you have in, okay, so whenever you go with statements, okay, so these are little complex. You need to understand these things little clearly. So you have -a and -o. So this is logical and this is logical OR and ands and ORs. If you are C language background, you might have already understood what is these things. Okay, logical and logical OR. Now, so what is this logical ands and ORs? Okay, so till now how many expressions you are using? You are checking only single expression. Now if your requirement is to check multiple expressions in the same one, expression 1 and expression 2, so you have to combine those two expressions with certain logic. What is the logic is you are going to use ands and ORs. Okay, so let me write a small diagram table. So you are going to have expression 1, expression 2, and we'll be having and, we'll be having OR. So if the expression is true, then it will be denoted with 0. If expression is false, then it is denoted with 1. Okay, so we are going to talk the expression things. Okay, so if it is equal to 0 means both the expressions are true. But just trying to make the probabilities. Okay, so what are the probabilities you can have on two expressions? If both the expressions are true, or if both the expressions are false, or if any one of the expression is true. Any one of the expression is true means this one 0 1 1. Okay, so you'll be having total 4 probabilities. Both the expressions are true, or both the expressions are false, or any expression is false. Any expression is true. Okay, these are the situations you have. Now whenever you go with the logical AND, okay, what logical AND is going to tell you is if all the expressions are true, then your compound expression is going to be true. You are combining multiple expression. Okay, we call it as compound expressions. Okay, so what logical AND tells you is if both the expressions are true, your compound expression is going to be true. So only in one situation you're okay, if you are using logical AND. What is logical AND? You use -a option. Okay, so if you use -a between expression 1 and expression 2, so your compound expression is going to be true. Okay, if both are true. If here both are not true, false, false, false. Now coming to the logical OR, what logical OR tells you is if any one of the expression is true, if any one of the expression is true, okay, your compound expression is going to be true. If any one of the expression is true, yes, here both are true. At least minimum condition is satisfied. So this is 0. And here also it is 0. Here also it is 0. Here any of the expression is true? No, here it is false. Once if both the expression fails, R also fails. So which is an option -O. Okay, so here if you see, so here you're just going with, okay, so one expression and another expression, but the commands are same. When you go with compound expression, if you are checking two expressions, okay, and if any of the expression is true or false or based on the condition, if you are performing the same commands, then this makes sense, right? So here, okay, I need to put it in a single if statement. So my expression, another expression is going to be -z $a. So here you are having two expressions. So you need to understand, okay, so okay, which operator I need to use. So you have two operators, so which is -a, okay, so and the another operator which is -o. So which one you have to use? So which one you have to use? So that always depends upon what is your expression is. So what is my expression? If A is empty, if B is empty, I want to execute these commands. When this will become empty? If the user has not given proper input. Means if the first expression is true or if the second expression is true, I want to execute these commands. When this becomes empty, if user has not given proper input. Okay, so in this case, okay, I'll choose an option -o. Choose an option -o. Why? Because if any value empty is given by the user, either A or B, I want to execute invalid input and I want to come out. So that's the reason I'll be using that one. So I'm going to use -o here. So let's validate. So if you have a doubt, actually put this condition, you just pull this information, put it in a different script, test it, that's all. Script 23.sh, I am giving both values empty, I am getting invalid input. I am giving 10, second value empty, invalid input. First value empty, second value giving, invalid input. If I give both the values properly, enter into main script. So perfect script. Right? So there my requirement is R. There my requirement is R. So the same script if you go with the etc init.d network, so you'll be seeing a lot of people using, I mean a lot of situations they are using unds and ors. Where are they? Unds and ors. Yeah, can you see here? Here is checking -o. So he is making a condition here, expression here. He is checking an okay expression here. So he is using -o. Likewise, okay. So you'll be finding some other things even. So here is very small script. I don't think so you'll find something here. Here you don't have much. So that is how, okay, so ands and ors are usually used. If it is a Red Hat 6 machine, you just go and open the scripts which are there in here, etc in ls. Let me see this. These guys are not using. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so usually you can get that particular information. Let me see. Can show you with the Red Hat 6 machine. Unds and ors are widely used. That always depends upon the script, how the logic is being written by the author who is writing that script. So here, so cd/etc init.d. So init dot, I don't know whether it is. Yeah. So this is Red Hat 6 machine. You'll find a lot of init scripts. That's all. At least I know some script which is so it is something like shd. Not sure whether these. Yeah, you can see here he is using and -a. Okay, so -a. Here you can see again one more -a. Here you can see -a. So here it is. He is combining multiple expressions, which are one is a numerical comparison, one is a file test. Doesn't matter. You will just combine. That's all. Okay. So likewise, you can search with -o also. So you can see here -o. Okay. So -o logic has come with only one time for him. Okay. So based on that, okay. So we usually, based on our logic, okay, we'll decide which one we have to use. So that's fine. And finally, there is only one small thing which is left actually in these conditions. So you need to understand the syntax of your if command actually. So already I told you the syntax of your if command. So how the if command is if expression. Okay, but no, this is wrong actually. So if command, if it is a command, the exit status of the command is equal to 0, it is going to perform those commands. Means if the exit status of, if this command succeeds, the exit status of this command equal to 0, it executes these commands. Okay, now what is the square bracket then? Yes, square bracket is also a command. Square bracket syntax is also a command. So what is the command is test command. So you have a command called as test command. If command is actually never validating any of these expressions. Okay, so the actual one which is there behind the scenes, okay, which is validating is test command. Okay, the syntax of test command is test expression or expr. So you can use any of the one. So that's the reason if you open any script, okay, so usually what you're seeing a lot of syntaxes with directly square brackets. You can see here. Yeah, you can see here. This is a test command he is using directly. Here also there is a test command he is using directly. Okay, so the test command syntax is like this. So here you see test 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so echo dollar question mark. So it is 0 and 2 echo dollar question mark is 1. So test always returns two values. If the exit status equal to 0 means it is the expression is correct. The exit status of test command is 1 means the expression is false. That's all. Okay, so test command is actually validating. Okay, so even the test command, whatever operators we have used -o also, right? So this is also the operators of test command. Okay, so man space bash, if you see, so they have clearly explained here. Okay, so test command, so these are all the operators. Okay, the test command sorts out, okay, so using the ANSI ordering. So basically these all operators belongs to test command. Okay, so you might be seeing some people using double braces. You might be seeing some people uses double braces in the script. Okay, you can see here. So that particular one is called as compound command. This particular one is called as compound command. So that is actually shell expansion. We usually call it as shell expansion. So I suggest you not to use this particular one. Use a single brace, so which is nothing but a test command. If you use double brace, it is a shell. Shell is actually validating. Now who is validating? Test command is validating. So test is actually a different command. Okay, in the early versions of Bash 1 version and 2 version, I think. Okay, so that is a different command. But after that, they have imported all the features of test command into the Bash and they made it as shell built-in command. So how can you check? Type space test. So test is a shell built-in command. Okay, so you always has to check the Bash. See, anyhow, I don't think so. If you are using the operating system which is released after 2006, okay, you'll see all the features already included in Bash. You don't need to worry. Okay, no need to bother anything about this. So you'll be having most of, at least after 2006, 2008, you'll find Bash version 4 only all the time. You don't need to worry. If you are using very old operating system only, you need to check whether these options are there or not. That's all. Okay, so this is about test command. So behind the scenes, what is happening? A test command is actually working. So if command always looks for so 99% will be looking for an expression only. So that's the reason the syntax we usually talk it as expression. That's all. And okay, so you talked about logical ANDs and logical ORs in test command. You have logical AND and logical OR in command line also. Logical AND, which is double ampersand symbol, logical OR, which is double pipe symbol. So you have two more things. So to combine commands, you require logical ANDs and logical ORs. Okay, so how do you how do you use this? Let me write a diagram so that you'll understand. So you have two commands, let's say command 1 and command 2. So now you want to combine these two commands with double ampersand symbol, so which is logical AND, this is logical OR. Now if you see, okay, so it always depends upon, okay, so how when second command needs to be executed. It always depends upon when second command has to be executed. Okay, so when second command has to be executed is what logical AND tells you is if first command succeeds, then only execute second command. Means here $? Equal to 0. $? is equal to 0, then go and execute second command. Means $? when will become 0? If command 1 succeeds, then only $? equal to 0. Now coming to this particular one, so what it tells you is, okay, if it is not equal to 0, means if first command fails, then go and execute second command. Two different things. First command succeeds, go and create a second command. First command fails, then go and create second command. Okay, so I want to create a directory. So before creating a directory, I just want to create mkdir dir. Before okay, going and creating a directory, I want to place a condition. How can I check the directory exists? -d dir. So you have two conditions. If directory exists, I don't want to create the directory. The directory doesn't exist, okay, I want to create the directory. So pipe symbol I'll be using. Means when second command has to execute if first command fails. When first command fails, if the directory doesn't exist. So enter. So ls-ld dir. So directory is created. So let's say I'll remove this one, rm-rf, this one, and let's say you don't have that directory. Now if I use logical AND, when second command will be executed if first command is successful. The first command will be successful if the directory exists. Now the directory doesn't exist. So let's see whether the directory it is creating. No, it's not creating the directory. So based on the thing, based on your requirement, okay, so your command always, your logical ANDs and always change. etc init.d network. So here you can see if the variable networking equal to no, then only go and exit with 6. Okay, here's the condition he's making. Networking equal to no, then and okay, go and execute second command, which is exit 6. So whereas here, okay, when he want to exit 1, if first command fails, when first command fails, if the file doesn't exist, or if the file doesn't have executable permission, then only it is going to give exit 1. Then only it is going to use exit 1. So that is how usually use logical ANDs and logical ORs. So let's say I want to write a small script. Yeah.
So Raghu, hyphen. Yeah, Raghu, can you hear me?
Yeah, Raghu. Yeah, Dheeraj, tell me.
Yeah. So here hyphen A and ampersand both are doing the same work, right?
Almost, yes. But hyphen A is to combine expressions. Hyphen double ampersand and double pipe is to combine commands. So these are commands actually. Those were expressions. So these were expressions of your test command. Okay. But with logical AND and logical OR, you're actually combine commands, whatever you execute in command line. So ls or cat or whatever the commands you're using.
Okay, so hyphen A used for expression and this for command.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So even if you realize, okay, that is a good point actually. Okay, even if you understand this expression how it is working, okay, you take this situation. Okay, so
okay,
or you take this situation. So what logical AND is saying, if both the expressions is true, then only go and okay, then only your compound expression is true, right? So the first expression itself is false. Is there any requirement of checking the second expression? No. What logical AND is saying, both the expressions are true, then make the compound expression as true. But here, first expression it validated, first expression itself is false. Is there any requirement of checking second expression? No. Directly we can say first itself is failed. We can say it is failed. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Right. So that is one thing. Yeah. So now one more thing. Okay. So if you take this scenario, so what logical AND is saying? Okay. What logical AND is saying here? Where is this? Second command can be executed. Okay. Only if first command is succeeds. Okay. So here also, what logical AND is telling you? So second expression is going to validate if first expression is successful. As here the first expression is true, then only it went and checked the second expression. Otherwise, the same situation, it has written the false directly. Got the logics? First expression is true, then only it is going and checking the second expression.
Okay, can you write something in the script where you use hyphen A and ampersand both so that it may get more clear?
Yeah, here we seen, right? So hyphen A we already seen, hyphen O with hyphen O option. Okay, or let me see, let me put like this. Let me write a small script. So I want to make this particular script run by the user. Okay, run by a root user only. Okay, so how do you check whether it is a root user or not? By using id-u. So id-u is going to give me whether it is a root user or not. id-u is going to be 0 if it is a root user, right? So vm script 24.sh. So I'll just give you id equal to, I'll just put it in this way, command substitution. Now, okay, and also what I want to do is I want to read a file, read -p, enter file name, so which is file. Now I want to place a condition that okay, this script has to be executed if $id is equal to 0 and the file exists, $5. Okay, so if the file exists and if the id equal to 0, then I want to perform something. Okay, I'll just write some echo commands only. So echo, you are a root user, user and echo $file $file exists. Okay, F5. So this is one way of executing. Okay, one way of checking using logical AND. But if you want to use it as a command, so what you will do now is you are going to put those commands actually here. So $id. So this is a command which is a test command, which is equal to 0 and we are going to use -f $5. So you are using as a different commands now. So this is one command, this is another command, and then you are giving echo. If both succeeds, if this succeeds, it comes to here. If this succeeds, it comes to echo command. Echo, you are a root user. So I'm just giving you an example, but try to understand this one firstly. Okay, you are using logical AND. Yes, Dheeraj.
Yeah, it's clear now.
Yeah. So here, okay, you are putting as an in the expression. Okay, so here also it is an expression, but it is an individual command. Now you see, my script will not execute. Why? Because I'm not a root user. Enter file name. The file doesn't exist. Okay, so you see here, I'll just go with root user cd/home/sb 48 24.sh. So I'm giving /etc/password, which is a valid file. So you can see here you're a root user and the file etc password exists. So let's say even I'm a root user, I have given some other file, so which is not going to helpful because the second condition is failed for. Okay, so usually I mean it always depends upon what you are putting over there. Okay, so what you are checking, whether you want to combine commands or whether you want to combine expressions. So you need to decide. So all the time you may not be using these only. So you might be using some other command. So all this depends. Okay, so which command we are using. .g network. So here you can see ands and ors are widely used. So here you can see if he is using in a command format. So this is one command and he is using, and this is another command. He is putting as a command. Okay, so if he is finally going to look for this whatever this complete exit status. Okay.